Hi Zinhle.
Hi guys.
How are you?
Good.
Are you voting?
I am definitely voting next week.
Why do you think it's important to vote?
I think it's important to vote because we need to make choices that will influence our future. So if you don't vote, everything that's going to happen will be out of your control because you never made a choice. So you need to make a choice because everything that happens after that affects your future.
And what does 30 years of democracy mean to you?
I actually can't even believe it's been 30 years, but it's 30 years of freedom. As a young person, I think it's 30 years of being able to live my dreams. Of course, the youth of before 30 years. But also 30 years is not a long time for the change that we want to happen. So we still need more time, but we need to make sure that we vote so that these changes can actually happen.
Yes.
Are you voting?
Yes, I'm definitely voting, and I think everyone should vote. The future of our country is in our hands, so we definitely want to vote.
Okay. So what does 30 years of democracy mean to you?
30 years of democracy is a signal of hope for me, and it's a signal of change and just the youth coming in and changing everything that we've seen in our country. I think our parents have laid the foundation for us, and they've tried really hard to fix things, but I think the power is in the youth. We are the ones that will transform the country. So our parents laid the foundation, and now we have to build it.
Okay. And what would you like to see post-elections?
Angeza?
What would you like to see after the elections?
What would I like to see? To be honest, there's something I'd like to see after the elections is immediate change. I think there's a lot of talking that happens, and I think we lose track of things, and we lose track of the things, the goals that we set. So I think I would love for us to implement things as we come with a solution, implement it immediately so that we can see the change and we're not overwhelmed with like a bunch of problems. That's what I would say, yeah.
Are you voting?
Definitely, I am voting.
What do you think of 30 years of democracy?
What a journey. I think there's so much power in voting. There's so much meaning behind voting, and the story for us to get to the point where we even allowed to vote as black people, it means so much. And I think it would be wrong of me to take away the privilege, the honor to have the power to decide who's going to represent me and do justice for my country, for my kids as a father now, the country I want to live in for the next 5 years here in South Africa. So there's just so much meaning, it means so much to me. I exercise my power, one vote adds up to the next vote, and it does influence, it does have a say. Some people feel like, what is it going to do? It does a lot, we're powerful when we come together, and that's what it means to me, man. Yeah.
Okay. And what do you hope to see after the elections? What changes would you like to see?
It becomes a very hard question to answer on what would I like to see. Firstly, the people or the person or the party I vote for, should they be in power? I think the first thing is them keeping the promise that they made that saw me vote for them. So that's one thing I like to see. But I like to see more employment. I like to see women and our kids being safe, in this republic that we live in. I think those are some of the big changes I like to see. Employment, because once we hire people, we give people jobs, we give people an opportunity, it fixes a lot of problems, so that's directly one of the things I like to see. Obviously, there's water, there's electricity, improving living conditions for people in this country, including myself. But I think once we find a solution with the jobs, we will see change in this country.
Hey LKG.
Hi family, it's LKG, the mother of course, and we are talking all things elections, and I'm definitely voting because it is my right, exercising my right. Why is it important for you to vote? Because if you don't vote, listen, you're honestly not going to have a say. You're not going to be able to rectify or be part of the people that rectify all the mistakes that have happened in our country. And why is it important for the youth to vote? Because about 90% of the people on the African continent actually are just based on the youth. So the youth needs to do the right thing because the youth is the future. So do the right thing and vote. Thank you so much.
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thanks, Nori.
I'm good. Are you going to be voting next week?
Yes, I am going to be voting. It's my first time voting this time, so pretty excited about it.
Okay. And what do you think of 30 years of democracy?
I think it's really dope, but then we also need a bit of change. I mean, we can't be riding on that 8 years of democracy, but still, we're kind of oppressed in some type of way. You know, we're still kind of oppressed, not by the people who oppressed us back then, but the...
What would you like to see change specifically?
I'd like to see change, firstly, in the sector that I am in, the art space. A lot of artists are getting exploited, you know. If the government would intervene at least, you know, we would appreciate that. I'd like to see change in the hood, where I'm also from. There's no opportunities, you know, children are not open-minded, you know. There's only those few who make it, and it seems like we used something Kemi type vibes, but no, there's no information for the rest to access. So yeah.
Hi, Wanda, how are you?
Happy how you guys?
You're voting next week.
Yes, on the 29th I'm voting. You wait, now what does it what on you? You can't 29.
Okay, so what does 30 years of democracy mean to you?
It means freedom. I was almost born free, so I kind of came into this world while we were still developing into a country that is sort of born free. So I saw the whole thing, the whole Rainbow Nation, and I'm excited to see where we're going. I think this particular election